Hey guys, and welcome back, man. Here we are, Wednesday, time for another midweek motivation and advice video. Today, I'd like to discuss a continuation of what we talked about last week with the how not to get overwhelmed with your New Year's goals and goal setting in general and the pursuit of your goals, right? With an advanced topic, which is the idea of setting goals that were meant not to be reachable, right? And I know that sounds very counterproductive to a lot of the things that I've talked about in the past, reaching realistic goals, setting realistic goals, how you go about getting those realistic goals, and how not to become overwhelmed by setting those goals and trying to get to them, right? And this seems like polar opposite, right? Setting unrealistic goals, why the hell would you do that? Well, for those of us that are a little bit more advanced and you kind of have gotten your head around how to achieve your goals, and you're doing that on a regular basis, and you understand what goes into that, right? You've done that a few times and you have achieved some of your goals, or maybe you've achieved all the goals that you want to achieve. It's easy to become bored, right? It's easy to hit that plateau, to hit that number, to do the things you need to do, right? Get that promotion, and then just become stagnant, right? And stagnant leads to laziness, and laziness is a cancer that will spread into all areas of your life, right? So to avoid those things, right, sometimes it is useful for those people that have the mental fortitude to set unrealistic goals, right? Goals that were never meant to be achieved. For instance, one of my goals that is completely unlikely, right, is to be the very best example of a man that has ever lived, right? To be the pinnacle of everything it means to be a man and what that should look like, right?
Come on, Thorn. Oh, God damn it. I am all that is man.
To be the very best man anybody will ever meet, ever, anywhere, that is unrealistic, right? There have been literally billions and billions and billions and billions, hundreds of billions of men that have lived before me, and even more than that, that will live after me. And to think that you could ever possibly be the very best one ever is not only extremely narcissistic and egotistical, right? But is statistically never going to happen, right? And that's good. It's fine. It's okay, right? As long as you realize that, it's okay. But nonetheless, it is a goal to be reached, right? And if you make every decision and every reaction that you have to every situation that you find yourself in, and you take that in mind, right, then typically I find myself making good decisions, the decisions that a good person would make, right? And that wasn't always the case, man, in my life. That was not always the case. And I don't always do it well, right? I make mistakes, right? Everybody makes mistakes, right? That's why reaching that goal is never going to happen, right? But keeping it in my sight, right? Taking that mental aspect, and when I make a decision or I react to a situation, lets me react more humanely, more respectfully, in a way that will not compromise my character, right? In the pursuit of that, right? So it's very beneficial, right? That type of thing is very beneficial for me, and I don't become super discouraged by never being able to reach it, right? But it is still nonetheless a goal that is highly unrealistic, right? And for most people, I would say don't set a goal for yourself like that if you become discouraged by never being able to reach something, right? Instead, first set realistic goals, reach a few of those, get to that point, get yourself into that mental space, and then set an unrealistic goal, right? Maybe your idea of unrealistic goal is some sort of a career thing, right? Or it's some sort of relationship goal, or it's something so on and so forth, something equally crazy, right? Like maybe you want to be the first person to go see a new star system, right? That is highly unlikely to have happen, right? That doesn't mean you shouldn't shoot for it. That doesn't mean that it can't happen. It just means it's highly unrealistic, but that doesn't mean it's not worth the pursuit, because even if you do fail at that, right, the things that you will accomplish along the way are insanity, right? I think Elon Musk is kind of like that, right? Like Elon Musk sets these hyper unrealistic goals, right? However, look at the things that he's been able to accomplish by having these super high, unrealistic goals, right? He's accomplished a lot of things that nobody thought he would ever be able to do. And for sure, none of those would have been done unless he had further goals past those to be reached, right? So there is some value in that, right? And that's what I think everybody should ultimately be shooting for, right? You should be shooting for reaching some realistic goals, learning how to pursue goals in a meaningful way, right? Without becoming overwhelmed. And then once you start to accomplish some things in your life, right? Set that horizon higher and higher and higher, right? Until you get to a point where you can set an unrealistic goal, a goal you know you will never reach, but will continue to keep you motivated to improve yourself as you move forward in your life. Anyway, guys, that's it for today. Like and subscribe. Leave me some comments, man. Let me know what's going on with you guys. And as always, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you later.